Stoveleg Media, igniting conversation.
Welcome to True Crime to Go. What can I get for you?
Man, I am just broke. Do you have anything like even cheaper than the dollar menu? Wait, I got an idea.
Pull up to the second window and we'll see you next crime.
Welcome to True Crime to Go. Came in a little early, man, because I'm just excited to talk about this Kentucky cryptocurrency case.
Yeah, man, I got some texts earlier today. I hadn't heard about this. I know you sent the email out a few days ago, but I had a friend text me about it today, and I started looking some things up, and this is absolutely wild. I think this is going to end up being a much bigger national story than it is, and I think we're going to have follow-up episodes, but even the opening details of what happened are absolutely phenomenal. So why don't you go ahead and get us rolling?
Yeah, I mean, just this month, 2025, in the month of May, there was a 28-year-old Italian man who arrived in New York City. And while the exact nature of his relationship with the individuals that we're going to be talking about remains unclear, he was reportedly lured to this house under pretenses of retrieving extorted Bitcoin.
I'm going to be honest with you. I have read about it. I still don't completely understand cryptocurrency and what it means, but what I do know is that it's incredibly valuable. And shortly after this guy got to the hotel, the situation took a dark turn. On May 6th, he was abducted and taken into an upscale 8-bedroom townhouse in Manhattan's Soho neighborhood, which I have to imagine is an expensive place to live.
Yeah, inside the townhouse, this victim endured a 17-day nightmare. He was bound by the wrists. He was beaten and subjected to electrical shocks. Prosecutors alleged that he also was drugged and threatened with death if he did not reveal his Bitcoin password. I do know a little bit about Bitcoin, and I think you do too. I think you own Bitcoin. Am I mistaken? Maybe you don't.
I have a little.
So, I mean, you have
not enough to torture me over.
So you have these apps is what I have, or you have these accounts that you can buy or sell Bitcoin. And apparently this guy had a lot of money in it because he was being tortured for his password.
What happened to good old fashioned hacking? What are we doing torturing people here? I just can't wrap my mind around it. At one point, his captors reportedly carried him to the top flight of stairs and dangled him over a ledge and threatened to drop him. Believing he was about to be shot or killed or thrown off of this stairwell, he agreed to give them the password, which was stored on his laptop in another room.
So, seizing an opportunity when the captor turned away, the victim managed to escape. On May 23rd, he fled barefoot and flagged down a traffic officer on the street for help. So following his escape, authorities arrested 37-year-old John Woeltz on May 24th. This guy was a cryptocurrency investor, originally from good old Kentucky. And he was charged with kidnapping, assault, unlawful imprisonment, and criminal possession of a firearm. And he was ordered to be held without bail.
Yeah, I learned about this because I got a text, somebody asking me about the Kentucky Crypto King, and that's what this story is about for Woeltz. Investigators identified William Duplessis, a 32-year-old crypto entrepreneur and business partner of Woeltz, as a suspect. Duplessis surrendered to New York City police and faces similar charges. I'm an investor in some things. I don't know if entrepreneur is the right word, but I feel like they're doing it wrong. The type of entrepreneurship I know about does not involve torturing people.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to joke and say maybe we're doing it wrong, but no, absolutely. But I think it just goes to talk about greed, man. I mean, Bitcoin, I know a guy that had an opportunity years and years ago. He said he had an extra $1,000 and wanted to try out this thing called Bitcoin. He was hesitant because it was brand new, didn't want to try it out, but I mean, he would be worth a lot of money now if he would have pulled the trigger a long time ago.
Is that you?
It was not me.
Yeah. This is obviously a highly valuable asset. The victim's name wasn't in the research that we were able to find. It may be out by the time this episode's released, but they did find in this townhouse weapons, drugs, surveillance gear, and photos of them abusing the victim and them threatening him and assaulting him. There's a saw involved, I saw in one article. So they absolutely abused this crypto guy just to get his password. They didn't end up getting it. Instead, they're going to be behind bars for what I hope is a really long time.
Yeah, this was an interesting case, man. And yeah, I mean, people will do anything for $1, but this is too far.
Yeah, and like I said, I think this is going to end up being a much bigger case, and I think it's going to, it'd be a bigger deal that we would continue to follow, especially if anything actually happens here in Kentucky. Woeltz is from Kentucky, but I don't think any of the adjudication is going to happen here. Either way, we will keep you updated with what happens in the Kentucky Crypto King case, and hopefully be able to do a full episode on it at some point. And John just located the victim's name. His name is Michael Valentino Tafrasto Caturin. There was another name there I didn't get. So
sorry. That's
very Italian.
Yeah. Not even going to try to say it and mess it up, but prayers go out to him. Hope he's healing and, the trauma, the physical trauma, mental trauma, just,
I think he'll heal physically. It's the emotional and mental piece that being held and tortured and threatened with your life daily for 17 days, that's not something you just get over.
I'm interested, and maybe it's public now, but I'm interested to know how much money was this guy protecting? I mean, I don't think I would endure that much before I just say, I'm done. Here's the code.
Yeah, what amount of money?
Also, you probably would never, I can never remember my passwords, so you'd probably kill me, and I'm trying my best to remember the code.
Well, he did have it, probably some kind of password protected system on a different device. Thankfully, if he had it on him, it probably would have ended up being something like that. But yeah, I can't remember any of my passwords. That's why they're password managers, and that's why they're security and two-factor authentication and things like that.
Yeah. Guys, we appreciate you sticking around each and every week for a couple of True Crime to Goes.
Yep, this has been a great story in 10 minutes or less.
Would you like crime with that?
You've listened to True Crimecast, distributed by Stoveleg Media. Check out stoveleg.com to find out more about your hosts and to find other podcasts to listen to. Stoveleg Media, igniting conversation.